Hello and welcome back to another Timeless video. Here with me on Huschenbeth, and we are playing the long-awaited Sultai Midrange. I went through various iterations of this deck earlier in my testing. I was working on it, and I had a more blue version with like memory lapse or counterspells, and also a version with counterspell, especially a bit tougher on the mana, of course, but also with Mystic Sanctuary on top of that, and like Soaring's Ransom and all these things. Sort of like a blue-black Lurrus version, but with Uro and a little bit of Oko and Deathrite Shaman, no Goyfs, and tried that. But I think now, after we've had a couple tournaments, and we've had like almost not more than a month of the format, being played, and my experience with the format, I've come to the how do you say, realization that a discard-oriented list is better. We saw the success of Jegantha with just discards, and of course the Blood Moon in the main deck in the latest tournament on the weekend. And I think it's just that discard is better because these Lurrus decks, for example, they're very low to the ground, making counter spells kind of bad, where discard spells are still pretty fine. Especially when, you can always slow roll your last discard to get that companion out of their hand. When they return it, they usually are not able to play it immediately, so that makes discard kind of nice against companions. And you just have to have that. Like, Thoughtseize especially is a card that has gone up and up and up in my sort of perception on how good it is. Having that turn one, take anything, take that Dark Ritual against the Necro deck, take that Once Upon a Time against the Titan deck, whatever it is, just getting to see their hand, seeing what's up, and then planning out your turns, etc., getting your own threats through, I think it's just very important. So Thoughtseize, it is over something like Counterspell, Memory Lapse. I think it's just a better strat. All right. And what else are we doing here? We're playing, of course, Deathrite Shaman, playing a little cheesy Delighted Halfling. Of course, not the best top deck, but we do have Brainstorm in our, deck to get it away. And we play 8 free drops. We want to ramp out with the Halfling. It helps at casting Uro, which is nice. Also from the graveyard, where, blue, green is a bit of a harsher mana cost. So having some help there is kind of nice. And so that's why I'm playing 1. It's a bit gimmicky, but I think it's fine. Like, 1 is not 2, so that you never draw 2 and feel totally embarrassed that you have like this 1/2 that is only a mana dork. So I think that is a fine number. Then we play 6 discard, 4 push, of course, 4 Brainstorm, 4 Bowmasters, 4 Goyf. I think Goyf is a bit of a question mark. It doesn't have to be played in this archetype. But, just having that extra clock might be good. It can be a bit of a non-bow with Uro, because you do exile a lot of your graveyard when you get Uro back, making the Goyf smaller and so on. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Like, maybe I don't want to play it after all. But I honestly also don't know what I would play instead in that slot, and I think you do want to have something here. Death's Shadow doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, so yeah, Goyf it is for now. Loch is a card that is a removal spell and a counter spell in 1, and works very well with discard spells. As you fill your opponent's graveyard up, and then boom, you can drown them. So yeah, I'm gonna try it. It's a bit of a non-bow of the Ashiok, because when you exile your opponent's graveyard, it's gonna be bad, but you're not obligated to exile your opponent's graveyard. And against the decks where you exile the graveyard, the Loch can be very powerful, of course. Then we come to the free drops. So, no, what I want to say is, like, where you exile the graveyard, then it's not that bad when you have Loch. But this one is also a question mark. You could play, I don't know, Eliminate or Bitter Triumph or something in that slot too, or I don't know, even Memory Lapse or whatever. Spell Pierces. I don't know. You can do anything. Like, it's still a bit experimental, this, but I like the Loch. It gives the deck all of a sudden a different angle, just having counterspells in the main deck. Yeah. Ashiok, of course, it is kind of a sideboard card, but I was thinking about Blood Moon, and Blood Moon, is also kind of a sideboard card. I think Ashiok just has so many good matchups, like so many matchups in the format right now where it's just very powerful, and where you struggle a little bit in game 1 especially. So I decided to just put 2 in the main deck. You can ramp it out on turn 2, which is extra nasty against anybody, maybe even, because if you run it on turn 2 on the play, and they have like 2 more fetch lands in hand. Those 2 fetch lands are shut off. Like, that is of course a best case scenario, but that can happen. And even shutting off 1 fetch land early on and then like another fetch land down the line when they draw it or something like that is very powerful. And you know, most of the black decks run Demonic Tutor, the black combo decks run all these search effects. The Titan deck is filled with search effects. So Ashiok is just like a very powerful game-ending card in some of these matchups. So I think running 2 in the main is totally reasonable. You also have Brainstorm, so if it's bad, we can Brainstorm it on top of our deck and then shuffle it away with a fetch land and, you know, move on from there. And then Oko and Uro. Oko really hasn't impressed that much, but I think it is pretty good against Junt. Junt doesn't really have good tools against it, and Junt, you know, is one of the better performing decks recently. So I think Oko is good there. And it also is pretty nice that you, like with these 1-drops, you really want to pump out a free drop on turn 2. Like that's really something powerful. So you want to maximize on that. That's why I'm playing 8 of these. And I'm gonna definitely give Oko a shot here. I think with Deathrite Shaman, Oko gets a good amount better. And then Uro is just a very powerful threat in these mid-range grind fests. You can easily outgrind like a Titan player when you have Ashiok Uro going, like whatever, make some zombies with Field of the Dead. My Uro attacks every turn, draws me a card. Nobody, like, that Field of the Dead is not going to beat that. Even like 2 Field of the Dead might not be able to beat that, because you just like draw 2 cards per turn and hit them for 6, gain some life, put more stuff to the board, etc., etc. Yeah. One unfortunate thing is we only have 1 fetch land that is our colors. We're missing Misty Rainforest, we're missing Verdant Catacombs. Maybe we're getting those in an anthology set sometime soon. That would be sweet. So we have to play some off-color fetches, which is a bit awkward. You know, like these green ones can't fetch Island or Swamp. They can't fetch Watery Grave either. So yeah, you gotta make do with them. You want fetch lands for Uro and Tarmogoyf, and of course Deathrite Shaman. So you gotta play a bunch of them, but they're not great. But I hope it won't come up too much. I added 22 lands in total with 5 mana dorks. You could also go maybe 20 free lands and then just cut the halfling as reasonable. And I'm not so sure about these choices here. Honestly, like the more I think about it, this could just be way too greedy. Because like Uro, pretty bad with Takenuma and Swamp. You know, Deathrite, not that good with Island. Takenuma, technically speaking, kind of good in this deck, but maybe you should just avoid that greediness. I think Zagov Triumph is not good enough. So yeah, our deck is mainly black, playing the same amount of green and blue. So I guess I'll add an Overgrown Tomb, maybe a Watery Grave. I don't know. Just could add a fetch land as well, but 10 fetches seems like a lot already. But yeah, I don't know about these 5 lands. Like maybe this could really get to awkward hands, like where you have 2 landers, like a hand with a forest and an island you basically cannot keep. Stuff like that could happen, so maybe we have to make some adjustments there. But Boseiju and Otawara are both very powerful, so I did want them in the deck. Yeah, all right, let's move to the sideboard. We have 2 Stern Scoldings, love that card. 3 Veil of Summer helps against Luris, and any blue deck. 2 more Ashioks makes sense. 2 Pithing Needles. Just really want to hate on those Necropotence ring decks. 2 Aether Gust against Titan. 1 Demonic Tutor to fetch various sideboard cards. 1 Tear Asunder against Reign and Necro. 1 Hearse against the graveyard stuff. That plus the 4 Ashioks should be pretty good. You could also run 3 Ashioks and a second Hearse. You know, like split them up a little bit. And then a Jegantha in the sideboard, which is kind of funny, but I think it makes a lot of sense. In a different format, I would just put the Ashioks in the sideboard, and then you could always have Jegantha. But what's going to happen here is that if I play against a fair deck where Ashiok is not particularly good, like the Junt matchup, or I don't know, like the blue-black control matchup, maybe. I haven't thought about it too much. Ashiok's pretty good there too. So, but yeah, you could just have Jegantha all of a sudden in a post-board game. It's something very unusual. Usually you have the companion first and you play maybe some powerful sideboard card where you take out the companion for. But in this case, I'm going to do it the other way. And yeah, it's something you can do. So we'll see. All right, guys, I'm excited about this Sultai midrange deck. I think it should be pretty good. Big question, I guess, is this better or worse than the Junt counterpart that has been successful? And yeah, we'll see. Oko turn 3. Oko turn 2. Let's go. Alrighty. Yeah, decent hand. Can't complain about any hand with a Brainstorm and a fetch land. You can always, you know, fix it. We're playing against Jegantha. Doing the Lightning Bolt test. Opponent does not have Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play Thoughtseize here instead of Deathrite. And I think I'm gonna preserve my life total a little bit. And also be worried about Blood Moon. I mean, anybody who plays Blackcleave Cliffs might just have Blood Moon. Especially if they run Jegantha. Right? Like, honestly, there's probably above 50% that they have Blood Moon. Alright, that's a pretty good hand. Pretty powerful. Damn. I guess I... Huh. Boah. Ay. This is pretty good. Guess I take Quest, and then I take Fable and just let him have the Bomies. My Brainstorm will be shut off. I mean, I do have push for one Bomie. I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, Questing Druid. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's the question, I guess, still is it better than Perilous Iteration? All right. I guess I just go Thoughtseize Deathrite here, and then they go likely Bowmaster EOT, and then Fatal Push my Deathrite. In which case I can go Brainstorm, Fatal Push the Bowmaster, Brainstorm, and then shuffle if I want to. I could also just play tap land and slow roll my Deathrite and don't take the 2 damage there. Wow. I could have also taken Fatal Push. I think Fable is just a bit too good though. Okay. At this point, I might just Brainstorm here and now, honestly. It's like, they might not even kill my Deathrite. And then, or they might draw land, and then they would have Bowmaster up, so I couldn't even Brainstorm anymore. Yeah, it's pretty obvious what's gonna happen here. I'm just gonna do it now. It's not... Okay, well, I'm gonna shuffle that away. Right, it doesn't really accomplish anything here. And then draw... What do I draw? What do I hide? Essentially from a Thoughtseize effect. Maybe the Orc. Alright. Yeah. They go Forest, I assume. Yeah, it's probably just a variation of Junt with... Oh, no Forest. Well, that makes me think they don't have Blood Moon. Right? Like, when you have Blood Crypt and Forest, you're able to cast anything in a Jegantha deck especially. So that makes me think they don't have it. Already down to 8, double Thoughtseize and some shocking and fetching. Okay. Well, they have another Bowmaster. Just go Forest Goyf, Fatal Push here. Just go Orc, kill this, they play Orc, then I kill... Then I kill this with Fatal Push. Could go Deathrite, fetch Swamp, then I Fatal Push my Deathrite maybe. Then I play Orc. If they have land, which they don't have right now, they can like kill my 1/1. I don't want to play the Goyf into the push. I kind of do want to push this before taking the damage as well. Maybe that's wrong. Alright, I'm gonna go with this line. $17 life. 5/6 Goyf already. Enchantment here. Yeah, and Goyf is much better with Thoughtseize than Counterspell is. And Uro is also better with discard spells. Uro would be not the greatest against all these Bowmasters though. I have the feeling my opponent has a Lightning Bolt, which I'm not too happy about. Now they have priority here. So they drew something. Yeah. Going to 5. I mean, this Bowmaster is going to kill this anyways. Could just jump. Basically saves me 2 life. Like 1 life, because otherwise this would ping my face. Save 2 life, probably. Save 1 life. Yeah. I guess if I draw Inquisition, I'd rather not jump. That's good. So if I assume they have Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push, I guess I won't play the Goyf. Could go to 5, play another Goyf. In a game like this, having Jegantha as your companion would actually be pretty big. Like my opponent has it, I don't. So yeah, it's certainly a meta call I'm doing by running the Ashioks in the main. I don't know if it's correct. I don't know. Alright, opponent just wants to go for the burn. Okay, I assume what's going on here is that they want a Bowmaster, put me to 6, and then hit me for free so they can Lightning Bolt my face. So I'm just gonna push the free, of course. After that resolves. And that's a pretty good thing for me. Like now I'm at a healthy 6, my opponent likely has a Lightning Bolt in hand. I think it makes sense to Thoughtseize, right? Like if they have Lightning Bolt, I'm just gonna take the bolt, I guess. There's Lightning Bolt, my read was correct. Interesting. So I attack for 5 to go to 12, I play 5-6. What's gonna happen next? Then I attack with 1 creature every turn. But what do I take? Let's just take the Lightning Bolt, I think. Goyf, 2 mana 5-6, just stats. It's kind of wild how Swords to Plowshares just doesn't see any play. They play Xander's Lounge? They play. Don't tell me they're also playing Bolas. Like, oh wow, that's an amazing draw. That means I can just attack with both. Yeah. I was thinking, when I made the decision, I was thinking, the Ragavan, if I draw Bowmaster, the Ragavan is going to be totally embarrassing. So I was like, let's just leave him with the Ragavan instead of the Bolt. It's a nice part about this deck, we're not playing Ragavan. To be fair, the Junt list that I actually meant as sort of a counterpart also didn't play Ragavan, so this Junt list does though. Ragavan is a very strong card after all, but yeah, it's not necessarily great in these matchups. Alright, Ashiok goes, and now Jegantha comes in. I think Halfling might also not be great. Alright, what is good? What is good, huh? That's Scolding, I guess. Yeah. Fatal Push. Not sure how good Veil of Summer is, especially on the draw. Don't love it. Scolding seems fine. Demonic Tutor, Aether Gust, I guess. But like, I mean, they have to be playing Jazzle, I suppose. They might also bring in Blood Moon. And Blood Moon definitely is a problematic card. Do I get rid of the Halfling? Seems kind of okay. Everything seems okay. I don't really like Brainstorm. It's a bit risky against a bunch of orcs. The only questionable card is the Aether Gust, maybe. It doesn't even show me the Ashiok anymore, but yeah, I have 4 more sideboard cards, theoretically. I kind of don't hate this Confi. I don't need the Gust. On the other hand, a Resolved Blood Moon, Fable as well. You just kick out a Drown for a Gust, but that just seems wrong. Drown is so flexible. Kick out a Brainstorm. Like a mad lad. Brainstorm is so powerful, I think. Especially with discard spells in your deck. Being able to get rid of them in a later game. Super, super good. And now I also have Jegantha as an extra card that I could like put into my hand and then Brainstorm away. Weird. Oh, there's certainly stuff that could go wrong here, but there's also... I think I'm gonna try it. Like, I have double Deathrite. And this matchup is very grindy, so... I don't know. We'll see. Okay, now they fetch Swamp. Well, you know what that means. We have a red moon tonight, I think. They do have Bloodstained Mire though, which makes my Deathrite Shaman enabled, so they have to kill the Deathrite, which makes me happy. Alright, that's good. That's very good. They took the Thoughtseize, as you do. I could just fetch Swamp. Kind of telling my opponent what's up. Do I want to tell? It's like, if I draw another fetch land, I might fetch, like, Island or whatever. It's okay, whatever. I think like, I have double Deathrite and Aether Gust. Like, Blood Moon isn't really an issue in this game. Like, I'm gonna have ways to deal with it. Like, I can even deal with a resolved Blood Moon as long as I have Deathrite in play to make me a blue. Right. Kill it. Sure. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna pass. This might need to become a green land, so I can cast Uro, but maybe that's just too greedy. Do I want it to be a swamp? Yes, a swamp is fine. It's just bad with Uro. It could also be an island. I'm thinking about playing this. Shock myself here. Maybe that's just better. Keeps the option open on what I want to fetch, honestly. Seems better. You could, of course, play like Dig Through Time or Treasure Cruise. Treasure Cruise being better with Jegantha. But I think Uro is the better card if you want to abuse your graveyard. So no Jegantha return makes me think they're sitting on a Bowmaster. Or maybe the Questing Druid. Yeah, I'm just gonna play this. And then probably get an island here. If they go Questing Druid, I'm gonna counter it. I think that card is a bit annoying here. Just 2-for-1's just not what I want to see. I mean, arguably, Questing Druid is even a 3-for-1. Now I'm thinking they don't have it. They would have played it. They might have Bowmaster and they're just waiting for me to play the Bowmaster, which pretty reasonable play pattern. That's how it goes usually in these matchups. Okay, well, I have Aether Gusts for that, so. I think with Deathrite in play, I'm gonna be okay fetching Island. Actually, holy shit, guys. I'm stupid. Like, what is this doing? Right? It does things. No, it does things. Like, if they +1, I can kill the goblin or the hamster. But it's at 4 loyalty, so there's no way of me attacking it to death. So that's problematic. So I think that was correct what I did there. So they have 3 cards in the bin. I wonder if I should return Jegantha here. Because if they just play Minsk and Poo again, which is likely what they're gonna do, I'm gonna Bowmaster the Minsk, I guess. The token. And then I'm happy I have Jegantha in my hand. Maybe drawing the Loch is not worth, because you also want to exile your opponent's cards sometimes. Like at this point, it's, you know, it's not that great. I think I want to exile my own Delta, even though I have Uro, because I don't want my opponent. Like, I want this drawn in the Loch to be enabled to counter like a Fable or whatever, or a Josel. Yeah. I have Fatal Push, which I might or might not use right away. I'm not going to use it right away, probably. Because then I don't have Drown. A little bit of an awkward mana situation. You really don't want to be in a situation where you have like 2 islands. It's just the mana requirements are really harsh in this deck with like Uro and like you want double black and stuff. Normally, like in the Junt deck, you're very happy having 1 green source, but in this deck you're not. So it can be a bit awkward. So at least if they have Orc, I have an answer, which is nice. They attack. Okay. I'm at 11. Return Jeggy. Jeggy to hand. Breeding Pool. What are they playing green for? Blue. Counter spells, I guess? I'm gonna get pretty punished if they have like 2 removal spells. Maybe this was wrong. I was guessing they have that. So now if you have a second one, I'm gonna get mad a little bit. Don't tell me you have a second one. Okay. Alright, pretty good. Opponent played this well. I wonder if I should have Fatal Push there. Probably not. It's like I gave them a window to do this. Now they have like the Inquisition for the Drown. The Thoughtseize doesn't do shit. Yeah, this was not good for me. I guess I can just play Jegantha here though, so that's kind of nice. Yeah. I don't know. If this would have been an Overgrown Tomb, which it technically should have been if Blood Moon wouldn't exist in my head, then this situation would have been easy peasy. Like I would have been able to counter this. They had 0 cards left, and I dropped Jegantha this turn, and they have a Jegantha left. Like, and I've even drawn Thoughtseize, so I can take the Jegantha. So yeah, this game would have been easy peasy if this would have been an Overgrown Tomb. Small differences make a huge difference after all. All right. Otherwise, I like how I played this game. I mean, I didn't have the Otawara yet, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this. I should fetch the Overgrown Tomb. Steam Vents as well. What are they playing blue for? Oko? Maybe. Brainstorm. One card in hand. If it would have been Bowmaster, wouldn't they have just played it in their turn? Or like played it here and jump blocked? I think they don't have Bowmaster. They're one land away from going Jegantha and just playing it. I'm just gonna shuffle these two away. I mean, if they kill Deathrite, I can't cast this, so I should get a green source. And stop worrying about eventualities. I should have just... Why didn't I shock? That was a mistake. That was a mistake. I should have shocked so I can activate this. And then gain 2 life also, like it nullifies itself. Good one. Yeah, that was unnecessary. I could have dealt 2 more damage. Minsk and Boo. What? Oh yeah, Xana's Lounge. Interesting stuff over there. Interesting stuff. I guess they're mainly a red-black decks. Yeah, I guess at this point I can't really assume that my opponent's running Blood Moon at all, right? Like, just doesn't make any sense to run Blood Moon. Yeah, they should be at 5. I should be at 11. Not a mistake. Yeah. Play the big boy. So let's see. Okay, they kind of have everything. Just thinking about the Goyf, but they have everything else, so it doesn't really matter that much. Fated push. I could kill this, attack everybody. They have to block here. Go to 5, go to 3, or I could play another Goyf. This can also make mana. The world is my oyster. I think it's better to just play another Goyf than to like play Fatal Push here. I mean, this game's done. This game is over. I don't even know what they're playing for. Like, I'm at 16 life. I have immense power. I mean, they don't know I have double Goyf in hand, I guess. So maybe they're thinking if they kill Oro, they stabilize, sort of. All right, so far so good. So far so good. Yeah, it's sweet. Yeah, Uro did some good work there, I guess. Just super powerful in the late game in this type of matchup. Just have to be killing the Deathrites first, and then you can just play it. And we didn't draw Oko, but I think Oko would have been pretty strong as well. Like, if you think about it, Lightning Bolts, 6 is just... Like, Oko is tough to deal with. If you keep their board empty, which is not that hard to accomplish. I like this. I like this list so far. I like the Goyfs too. They were so big. All right, I forgot to click record. We are in game 1 still. So, this is game 1. Opponent just played a Kumano. And we're going to take this Swift Spear. Their hand is kind of bad, actually. And when they return the Lurus, we're going to take the Lurus. And Deathrite's pretty good against Burn because it bump into the night. Inquisition even gains me a bunch of life. Like, Tarmogoyf is also great against Burn because they can't get rid of it. It blocks all their small dudes. Eidolon would be a bit of an annoying draw here. Okay. Getting the counter there makes sense. Alright, I'm at 11. There's a Swift Spear in the grave, so that's 2 life, which I can gain. Sure. Just play 2 Deathrites and pass. You can also exile the bump into the night at some point down the line. This would likely get a Watery Grave if it could. It can't, so it won't. You're gonna do a little bit of a suicide attack here. It's not too unreasonable, yeah. I guess I killed the Bowmaster. So these exile creatures, which is my creatures, which is unfortunate. This way I take 3, go to 8. I have another Deathrite in hand. I could also do something like this. Then jump, just take 2. Man. These I can't even exile. They're not creatures, so they don't gain me life. Sure. I mean, if they have a removal, they could double kill. I go down to 7. So if I do this, I go down to 7, down to 6. They get Lurrus into hand. I Inquisition the Lurrus. I go up to 8. There's one more creature in the bin. I'm gonna do this. Maybe a bit greedy. It's less risky against the removal. They have Skewer and go face. I don't know. You should probably kill the Deathrite in that situation. Like, I'm just gonna be able to gain 4 life here with the Deathrite, so you rather just have the Deathrite. I guess I have 2 Deathrites, never mind. Yeah, I guess it's a tough spot. Brainstorm. Brainstorm. They really can only, right? Like, Exquisite Firecraft is not legal, I think. There's nothing that deals 4. So this getting me up to 5 is safe, right? I think it's better though to not do the Brainstorm right here. Just play a Deathrite and pass. Opponent gives up. Wow. Okay. Sure thing. They even concede the match. I guess this is how good the deck is against burn. I mean, you literally have, if you look at it, you have Oko, Deathrite. Oko makes food, gains life. You have Deathrite, gains life. You have Goyf, which is a super annoying blocker for them. And you have even Uro to gain life. Yeah. Sultai seems pretty good against burn, I guess. No companion, one lander, Brainstorm. I think this is not good enough. Yeah. I could see that you want to run more lands, 23 lands, especially with those utility lands you have as well. I mean, I do have Brainstorm, I guess. I do have double Fader Push too, which is really good on the draw. Why the heck did my opponent just concede the match? Okay. Sultai too strong. They just mulliganed to 6 and they were already down to conceding the game. Okay. Okay. This could be tough. This could be tough. But it's going to be an interesting matchup to play. I really don't understand that early concession. Like, what the fuck? Last time. Watery Grave breeding pool, something like that. Or Overgrown Tomb breeding pool. Double black is probably wanted here, so I go Watery Grave breeding pool. Yeah, I just like to, when I fetch, I like to plan out the fetches before I do, you know, my first decision. All right. So there's no way of putting in Titan on turn 4 in this game so far. Now there is, if you draw Garen Break off the top. Interesting. So I cannot prevent natural order. I cannot. But I could prevent natural order if I go Thoughtseize Fatal Push and next turn Bowmasters. Then I can prevent natural order on the following, like not on this turn, on the following turn. I could also go Brainstorm, Thoughtseize, and then if I hit a third land, I can go Fatal Push Bowmasters and get rid of the possibility of. I think I like that most because this is a good turn to cast Brainstorm because I still have a fetch land. Ooh, baby. Let's go. Right, one Thoughtseize can go. I like all the other cards theoretically, but I guess I don't need Fatal Push when I have Ashiok anyways. Yeah. And then Windswept Heath and Foothills are the same. They're both green fetch lands. So Overgrown Tomb it is into Thoughtseize. And one turn, my friend. You have one turn. Don't do it to me. They have Blast on actually for the Ashiok, I'm just realizing. They did draw the Garen Break, damn. They have Blast on for Ashiok, man. And now they can draw Titan as well. But if they sack the Blast, if they put 2 counters on Blast Zone, then at least that's the entire next turn. Ugh. I could also play Oko and hope they Blast Zone my Oko, and then I play Ashiok. I kind of like that best. I have to dodge a turn here. Yeah, just dodge one turn. I could also prevent myself from dying to Natural Order by killing these two, but I think then it's better to just play Ashiok. I don't know, this is risky too, because if my opponent is careful, they might not pop it. They will wait a little bit, and then I can't drop the Ashiok. And it's risky against, I mean, prime time I could play Ashiok, and that stops everything for a turn at least. Alright, this was, I did the higher risk line, but the very rewarding line, of course. I have drawn a Loch in my deck, so I don't like the idea of milling them, or like exiling the graveyard right now. They are one short. But yeah, I'm just gonna cast Uro. Sure. Shock. So Natural Order doesn't do anything, so I don't even have to get rid of these guys. Yeah, just pass, I guess. Yeah, it's just, ooh, Westvale Abbey. Huh. Pretty interesting land here. Kill a Kami. And kill a zombie? Again, I'm gonna exile my own stuff because I might draw another Loch and then I can counter all these things. Just kill Zomb, right? Again, Natural Order doesn't do anything as long as this is down. They've already used their Blast Zone, so there's, you know, no worry that Ashiok will die. Planeswalker. I'm just thinking about Goyf. They have instant here. Leave a Planeswalker. I have only one land left, but I have 2 more lands left here in case I need 2. Brainstorm. I can also mill myself to get more cards in the bin, and then, yeah, drawing the Loch will be shut off, but it is how it is. At least drawing a Loch for something big, like a Titan, which, you know, could be problematic. Actually, like, it's a 6/6, you know, it's just a 6/6, but it's a bit annoying, maybe. Although I do have Oko, which is nice about Oko, you can just turn all these big things into free freeze, so that's pretty cool. I guess I could have attacked there. They can trade, but I'm kind of happy if they trade, probably. Like, I really don't want them to Abbey. If they play a land here, they have another zombie. Then they can make another dude, then they have 4 dudes. I can steal a dude and give them a food. I can do things. Like, I gotta be like 95% to win this game here, I think. I don't see many ways they can win. Famous last words. I'm just gonna exile them once upon a time and drain them for 2. Sure, this means the Drowned Loch won't be able to kill this 6/6, but again, I have Oko to turn the 6/6 into a 3/3, so I don't care. Alright, I could put on the pressure, but I really don't want to get got by this. If they play another land, they have a 4th creature, and then they have the 5th with this. So I'm just gonna attack first. They probably will take it, because they don't... Honestly enough, I can just make this into an elk if they go for it. Right. Yeah, they're trying to go for it here as well. I could just make it into an elk, which would be pretty backbreaking. I mean, I would take 9 damage. They gain 9, but I mean, they lose the entire board. Okay. Man, I love this Sultai deck. It just feels good. Brainstorm. Oh, Brainstorm plus all these cards. The power level of this deck is just so high. Yeah. Can make this into a 4/4, which is kind of cute as well. Yeah, whatever, just... Oh, I can't -5. Oops, right, because it needs 5. That's only it's 4. Whatever, I'm just gonna make food. And now they can kill the Oko, I guess. Maybe I played this wrong. Maybe I did. I don't know. I'm just gonna start killing stuff again. I just kill these things, and then they can't flip it, and then I'm gonna be okay, because next turn they have to start chump blocking. And I can steal a creature next turn as well. I can steal a Grazer, and then I have a chump blocker for the 9/7, and then I can turn it into a 3/3 if they ever get to flip it some way, somehow, which I think is not going to be possible against my Fated Push and all that. They can't even have fetch land because Ashiok, so they won't be able to get 2 zombies in a turn. Yeah, Ashiok showing its power level. Nice, nice. Well, got rewarded for playing Ashiok in the main deck, even though this was game 2, because my opponent just conceded after mulliganing to 6, which is pretty outrageous. I guess they saw their 6 and they saw it was like unplayable, and then they didn't want to go to 5, I guess. Anyways, you can easily win on 5. You just need like Sunken Citadel, Garen Brick, land, Titan, or you need like Grazer, 3 lands, natural order, right? No, you need 4 lands, I guess. 4 lands, natural order, Grazer. That can win you a bunch of games. So you can easily go to 5 with a deck like this. You just have to draw well, of course. They were probably just frustrated or something, I don't know. Play first. This can get Bowmastered. Oy. Interesting hand. So many 1-drops in my deck. I could just draw. No, I'm on a play, so I can't draw one. Opponent has not shown me what they're up to. They could just be a Titan deck. Could be a Necro deck as well. I'm gonna take a mulligan. Oh, his hand is not much better, but it is better. Just take the Watery Grave away, I guess. Okay. Alright. So we're playing against another Necro deck. I hate playing against these decks. Laka Cavern. We didn't play against a Necro deck in this video yet, but I keep playing against them. It's just like, yeah, great gameplay, you know. I tried to kill you before you kill me. It's a race. You have the combo, you have the nuts. I die, you don't. You die. Very fun gameplay. Great stuff. That was a good card to draw. Goif turn 2 is a good start. Goif turn 2 is a good start here, for sure. I mean, Deathrite turn 1 would have been better, but Goif turn 2 is nothing to complain about. Oh, it's Belcher. Right, it's Belcher. Of course it's Belcher. Funny. Haven't played against Belcher before. Yeah. Watery Grave, I guess. Sure. Swamp, definitely a bit awkward with good old Uro. Alright, so let's hope we, I guess we find Drown in the Loch. But Drown in the Loch doesn't really cut it. Channel. Alright, well. Yeah. I don't know. Restricted cards also make for weird fun games where, you know, sometimes they draw it and it's just completely broken. Like Belcher can just win games on turn 2 with channel. Playing Ironcrag Feet even. Because they can besiege. Could I see the deck, please? They can get it with Besiege, I guess, and then get 7 mana and then play Belcher. Ironcrag says you can only cast 1 more spell this turn, yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I mean it's another one of these borrowing all index. Seems powerful, I guess. You have Dark Ritual. Oh, this deck doesn't even play Necro. Well, another reason to run 2 Pithing Needles, honestly, like, it's so important. Is Tear Asunder actually good against my opponent? What is it gonna do? Because it kills the ley line, that's good enough. Ashiok, is that good against my opponent? It stops the shuffling, stops the tutoring, probably good enough. Gust? What are the green cards? Not that much, right? Don't have any spell pierces here, which might be an oversight. Demonic Tutor. Fatal Push does not seem particularly good. Veil of Summer, nope. Although you and Boseiju got extra. Yeah, it's only hexproof from blue and black, so it's not hexproof from Charbelcher. So they showed me Bowmaster, I guess that's the only creature they have. Unfortunately, I cannot have access to the deck anymore. Yeah, they probably just run green for this. What else? Maybe that assemble the team or whatever, the 2-mana Demonic Tutor variant out of Alchemy. What do I not want? Bowmaster's questionable. And Uro is slow. For Ashiok is a bit hardcore, maybe. I don't know. I can brainstorm Ashiok away if she's bad. Or like in multiples. Being a legendary card. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Leyline of Sanctity, man. Okay. Well, I have Needle here. My opponent does not have Boseiju. But they have a bunch of tutors, so they can like probably board in, I don't know, some type of effect. I have Brainstorm. Let me think for a second there. There's no reason not to shock, I guess. Like, they don't deal me any damage, right? Besides Bowmaster, maybe. And I'd rather have the Brainstorm up in case there is something like a Thoughtseize, which they could plausibly have. Can also use the Demonic Tutor as a shuffle effect, funnily enough. Yeah. So Leyline makes a bunch of my draws bad. Oh, never mind. I didn't know about it as well. They do play Bowmaster. Interesting. I do have Demonic Tutor though. Oh, they have Dark Ritual as well. I think I'm just gonna pass here. I can counter Dark Ritual with Drown in a Loch. Like, nah, they need 7 mana for Charbelcher, so they're not able to go off here. Think I just get rid of this. They could have some absurd combination of cards. I guess maybe I should just play the Bowmaster EOT. Provide some clock here. I think I just Demonic Tutor for Pithing Needle. I just ignore this little... Tempting. Oko tempting me here. Definitely tempting me. How likely is it that they're gonna kill me? They need like Dark Ritual, Besiege, and Charbelcher in hand. It's pretty insane actually to have all that. Right, they can go Dark Ritual, Besiege, Iron Crack, and then Charbelcher, but they need 3 different combos, 3 different pieces. I don't know, I just play it safe. I don't have any experience in this matchup. Now they can just tutor for a destruction effect. And I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be in trouble, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But then they need to spend a tutor on the destruction effect at least. Yeah. You have the ritual, you have the Charbelcher, interesting. And now, I'm stupid. Missing something? You just put it into play? Well, you're just gonna turn it into a 3/3 then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Oko has some use cases. I didn't really learn much. Yeah, same list, same shit. Gotta say, Drawn and Loch is a bit disappointing here. It is supposed to be there for the combo matchups. And it looks kind of bad in the combo matchups. Because, like, one Titan doesn't fill up its graveyard very quickly. And this deck doesn't fill up its graveyard. Even the Necro decks don't fill up graveyards quickly enough. Like, they just play Dark Ritual, Necro. Maybe have a fetch land, you know? Oh man, this hand is tempting. Opponent kept at 7, so they probably have Leyline, so this Thoughtseize doesn't work. But we do have the best card in the matchup. It's so tempting. I think it's wrong though. Oh man, it's so tempting. I mean, they likely have Leyline, so this Thoughtseize. Draw 1 blue and I'm in the game. Could draw Deathrite as well, but they don't have any fetches, so they won't help. Like, Deathrite alone won't help, so Deathrite doesn't do anything. What do you guys think? Would you keep this hand? Would you keep this hand? How crazy is Pithing Needle? I think like Pithing Needle and them giving them a bunch of time is not going to be good enough because at some point they will find an answer. I do have 2 Okos, so if I just draw runner lands, I'm going to be in a great position, of course, because I have Clock. Damn it. Can't do it. Okay. I can do this, for sure. I guess I bought him land, because Deathrite is a 3rd mana source, so I just bought him Swamp. You could also bought him the Thoughtseize, anticipating that they have Leyline. They didn't have Leyline, okay. That would have made my first hand even better. But yeah, my hand, I'm not unhappy. Like, this hand is a good hand. I have Disruption. I have Ramp. I like it. Oh! Well, glad I mulliganed. Alright, nice. Yeah, just go Breeding Pool. Don't necessarily want to shuffle the Swamp on top of my deck, so that's like one reason to not shuffle it, even though it's very marginal. Secondly, also, I could draw Brainstorm. So I have a decision here. I could drop the Ashiok first. At that point, I don't even know, man. Because at that point, they need like a bunch of ways to trigger. I feel like it's good, honestly. I feel like playing Ashiok first is good. Yeah, just like Watery Grave. They need like a bunch of mana to even be able to kill me here. What do I do with the ability though? That's the interesting part. Do I minus on them? Do I minus on myself? I think I minus on myself. Yeah, baby. That's what I was that's what I'm talking about. I mean, everything is coming together here. It's insane. I love this deck. Jesus Christ. I wish I would have found it before the 1K. Definitely played this. It just feels so good. I mean, I'm getting super lucky too. But hey, I'm putting 2 needles into my sideboard, and it really helps against Necro and Charbelcher, these all-in combo decks. And yeah. I mean, famous last words. They might be able to, if they have Ritual, Untapped Land, and Charbelcher, I would have died here. So, you know. But they don't. They don't have it. And Oko! Okay, yeah, I mean, now I'm gonna Thoughtseize, right? Yeah, 100%. I could just go Oko Needle, I guess, but I want to Thoughtseize to take away the destruction for the Needle. And then I can still play Bowmaster EOT. This is a dead card. They did have double Ritual. Leyline is dead. This is kind of dead too against the Ashiok, but I guess they can crack this. So the only real card, it's either I take mana or I take the Balaget. This doesn't do shit. I think I just take the... Maybe you should... Like, they have 2 rituals. If they only had 1 ritual, I might take a ritual. Cutting off mana a little bit. Mana or Balaget? I'm gonna take the Balaget. And do I exile the grave one more time? Sure, I guess. Mill myself again. Yeah. Oh, I should have fetched first, probably. I already have milled a swamp. If I mill, like, more fetchables... Okay, didn't mill any fetchables. Could have gotten a little sad. Anyways, let's go. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be tough to win, right? I don't... The hand looks really bad. So I named Goblin Charbelcher. Alright, let's go. Yeah, this should be... I mean... They conceded when I played Oko last time, so maybe they concede if I play Oko next turn again. And then we're good here. They could have Bowmaster. Oh wow, okay. What's this gonna do? Not cracking the rocket first? To just draw another card? Maybe they have Boseiju. But I don't know if they understand what... Oh, wow. That's hilarious. That is freaking hilarious. Huh. Okay. Is that some alternative game plan? Like if they have some Atraxa or some shit? Oh, they missed. And they conceded. Like the funny thing is, even if they had something very powerful there, like what, as long as it doesn't have hexproof, I can just Oko it. And then it's a free. Alrighty, folks, we're wrapping up with Sultai midrange. I don't know, man. I'm in love, honestly, guys. I'm in love. I really like this deck. It played out very well. Both Oko and Uro are great in the mid-range matchups, and like Oko has some random utility here and there. It can even turn a ring into a free as well. So quite good against some of these wacky Dark Ritual decks. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Maybe you want to play a land. The mana base could be improved over like Halfling. And the one card I didn't really like was the Drown. I think it's quite good in like these Lurrus matchups, and if we would have played only against those, at the end of this video I would say, oh yeah, this card is amazing. But I think against those matchups, this deck doesn't specifically need like more help. Of course it's nice to have Loch in addition to Uro and Oko, you know, and all these other great cards in those matchups. It's nice to have, countering all those spells, and being able to kill a thing when you're on the draw, like killing a Goyf, right? When you're on the draw is pretty nice compared to something like a Memory Lapse, where when you're on the draw against these Lurrus decks, they might have a quick start, and you are sitting on these counter spells, and they're just not that good. So Drown and Loch, really nice in these mid-range fights, but it doesn't really help that greatly against these crazy Necro, Charbelcher, and a Titan deck as well. So I'm skeptical on it, but I really don't know what else to play in that slot either. Because Memory Lapse, I don't know. Like Memory Lapse is maybe it has to be Memory Lapse, but it's just Memory Lapse not really getting rid of the thing and just putting their powerful spell back on top is pretty sad. It could be Spell Pierce. Like, that would definitely help against the Necro decks, right? But you already have 6 discard spells, so you kind of have some angle of attack there on turn 1. It could be... Then Spell Pierce is not great against Titan, besides Natural Order, right? But like, they often go for a quick Titan with Sunken Citadel and Garenbrick. So I don't know. Drown and Loch has to be something different, probably, but I don't know what it could be. I think Counterspell probably too greedy for this deck, unfortunately. Make Disappear, I guess, is the next thing that comes to mind. If you have any idea what you could play instead of the Drown and Loch, let me know. Otherwise, I really like this list. I really like this approach. The sideboard looked pretty decent. Overall, no complaints there. It made sense to me. Yeah, this is an awesome deck, and I highly recommend this, honestly. Just try it out yourself. It feels really smooth and good. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching, as always. See you in the next one.